Good evening, everybody. Hello, my dear students and wonderful teachers. Welcome to the Heart and Parcel English and Cooking class. Hello, everybody in the chat over there. Welcome to you who, if you're just watching and not commenting, and welcome to those who are watching this video back. My name is Claire, and every week I will be cooking delicious, delicious recipes from the Heart and Parcel cookbook. Our recipes are given to us by our English language students. So all of our ESOL students have been giving us our recipes, stories, and sharing them with you. So I will be cooking every week and sharing these delicious, delicious dishes. Hello, everybody. Everyone's noticed my wonderful apron. It's got a bit of a theme. We'll get to that in a little bit. Lovely to see you, Bridget, Simona, Rizwana, always cooking. I love it. Paramita, lovely to see you. Veronica, Aisha, Remy, Lisa, Yanni. Hello and welcome. Elmataz, hi. Pablo, good to see you again. And Kinana, hello everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please like and subscribe to the video if you enjoy class. If you want to watch it back later, you can. You can even click on the subtitles when you watch back later. And please enjoy yourself. You can join in with me. We learn English speaking, English reading, English writing, English listening, and we do a little bit of cooking as well. So there's a lot to get through today. Hi, Asmahan, Sadiqa, great to see you. I really hope you enjoyed today's session. Leave a comment at the end if you do. Other than that, let's get started. So I've got a different questions for you today. 2 questions for you today. 1, how are you feeling? How are you feeling today? Why? And 2, what is your favorite texture of food? What is your favorite food texture? 1, how are you feeling today? Why? 2, what is your favorite texture of food? Or what is your favorite food texture? Texture. Why? Write your answers in the chat, or you can speak it out loud, or write it down with a pen and paper, or just think. It's no problem. And I'll make some comments in the chat in a little bit. Off you go. 1 minute. So whilst I'm waiting for some questions or answers to come from the chat, I'm going to give my answers. How am I feeling today? I am feeling really, really curious. I'm feeling really, really curious today because there's lots of interesting things in this recipe and there's lots of interesting stories in this recipe. So I'm feeling curious today. And my favorite texture in food, I was thinking about this, and my favorite texture in food is juicy. I love, love, love juicy food, like oranges, lemons. I like meat. Meat can sometimes be juicy as well. That's quite wet and tastes really good when you put it in your mouth. What are you guys thinking? What are your answers here? Kinana, you feel happy to see us. That's great. And Sadiqa, I saw up there you were happy because of the water. Are you happy it's raining, Sadiqa? I'm very surprised. Asmahan, you're busy and you've got some problems in your life. Well, I hope that you can relax for just 1 hour and enjoy class. Soad, you're feeling good. Great to hear that. Aisha, you did some yoga today. Fantastic. Did you watch it on YouTube? Did you do a video or did you do an online class? Paramita, you're physically not well because of the unpredictable weather. Yeah, it's one day it's sunny, one day it's raining. It's always either or, we never know. Your favorite texture is juicy as well. Lisa, you're happy about the food. Well, I'm excited that you're happy about the food. Alam, you're feeling good today because it's raining. Why does everybody like rain? This is strange. Asmahan, great adjective, creamy. What kinds of things are creamy here? Khadija, yes, juicy and soft. I like the soft textures as well. Do you like hard textures at all? Or is this not good for you? Lisa, you're looking great. And Sadiqa, favorite texture of food is putting lemon in the food. So how can you describe that texture? Carolina, yes, that's a really nice texture. Crispy, crispy. You watched a YouTube yoga video. Brilliant, Aisha. And Yanni, you feel great because you have time to see the broadcast live. Yay! I hope you get a lot out of this. So keep on asking those questions. Wonderful. Oh, Lisa, you're too kind. Right. Fantastic comments in the chat. I hope you got some new vocabulary already if you are watching. We're going to continue with developing our English language vocabulary in texture throughout the recipe. I have 2 more questions for you. 2 more questions for you. This might help you to discover what we are doing in the class today. So we have two questions there. The first question I want you to answer, type your answers in the chat. You can speak out loud, or you can write it down, or you can just think. This one and this one. I give you a chance to read first. Question 1 and question 2. 10 seconds to read. Okay. What ingredients make dough? What ingredients make dough? So what makes dough? If you've been watching our videos for a long time, you know what dough is. If you find that too easy, can you give the quantities, please? 2, what ingredients go well with? Can you try saying that? Go well with. Beef. What is beef? What ingredients go well with beef? Go well with, are suitable with, taste good with. So if you have beef, what is beef? That's beef, beef mince here. What goes well with this? Type your answers in the chat and I'm going to see what kinds of answers you have. Fantastic. Really good. Elmataz, good. And you, well done, you typed that correctly. Khadija, flour, salt, yeast, and water. Flour, salt, water, and yeast. We've got all of those things there. Brilliant. So you can see you've got your fat and your salt added to your flour. So it doesn't matter what kind of fat you have, either oil or butter, and decide if you want it to rise or stay flat. So if you want it to rise, you can put in the yeast there. Fantastic. What things go well with my beef? What things go well with my beef? I'll get my ingredients out for my dough. Flour, salt, and water. That's my dough. And beef goes well with, great, Veronica, tomatoes and onions. Nice. Massima, fantastic. Garlic and beef always goes well. Can we go further? What other things, not just onions, garlic, and tomatoes, they go well with everything. What other things? What other things? Oh, nice, Khadija. You're creating a whole meal there. Chips and pasta goes well with the beef. But cooking with the beef, what flavors can we think of? Sadiqa, onion, garlic, black pepper. Nice. Nice, Aisha. Thyme, chili, pepper, garlic, parsley, Sadiqa. Great. Spices. These are all fantastic, fantastic answers. Well done. I hope that my recipe, or our dear friend Taring's recipe, goes well and has all the good ingredients that you would like to have. Hanan, you've got 2 out of the 3 ingredients that I've got today. Well done. Good, Pablo. Well done, Soad. Fantastic. Keep on writing if you haven't finished, but I'm going to make a start on our fantastic recipe today. I'm going to be making some really, really nice dumplings, little parcels from our dear friend Taring. She taught us how to make these about 2 years ago. And when she was making them, I just thought we need to have them for the cookbook. So I'm going to be making Taring's steamed beef dumplings. I'm going to be making the steamed beef dumplings. And I want you to be focusing on the ingredients that go well with the beef, what things she includes in them. We're also going to be making, I think some of you were right, some hot dipping sauce. Hot dipping sauce. So 2 things we're going to make today. I really hope you enjoy the process, and I hope you learn some new English words. Whilst you are watching me cook, I want you to think about a couple of things. 1, what are all the ingredients that I put in this recipe? What are all the ingredients that I put in this recipe? 2, what are some of the textures that I use to describe these ingredients? What are some of the textures that I use to describe some of these ingredients? Okay, if you've been coming for a long time, you can also catch the verbs as well, plus the utensils, and you can think about any stories or ideas around these dumplings. Do they look similar to something that you make at home? Have you eaten them before? Talk in the chat, or you can write down and we will go through. Are you ready? Let's begin. First of all, I'm going to get my weighing scales, and with my bowl, I'm going to focus on the dough now. So I'm going to need 500 grams of plain flour, and I'm going to add to that some salt. And after I add the salt, I'm going to slowly pour in some water. So think about the verb here for the salt. What am I doing? Type it in the chat. If you feel confident, you can write sentence by sentence what I am doing. You can use the structure, she is something, the flour, yeah? She is mixing the flour and adding cold water. How much water do you think? What do you think? Oh, it feels very soft. But actually, this dough, you want it to be very firm. You don't want it to be a soft dough. You want it to be a firm dough. So Claire is mixing the flour with her hands. Do you mix with your hands or do you mix with a spoon? Tering tells us to mix with our hands, so we have to mix with our hands. So we met Tering in one of our face-to-face classes, and when I was making some dumplings, some Chinese dumplings, she came over and said, "Oh, I make something really similar. Let me show you." And she showed me this recipe, and she showed me how to fold it differently. And I thought, how interesting. It's a completely similar but different. Similar but different. So you get the dough and tip it out onto a surface. And of course, the next step, what do? We need to knead the dough. Now, it's 300 mils. And Sadiqa, you like mixing with your hands. Why? Why do you prefer mixing with your hands and not a spoon? You tell us about it. What am I doing now? Pablo, same question to you. You mix everything with your hands. Why? Why? Great, Asmahan. Fantastic sentence. Well done. Ah, Sadiqa, you're feeling confident. That's why. That's why. So, let me tell you this story about Tering. Tering remembers these delicious dumplings when she was a young child. And do you know who used to make the dumplings for her? Who used to make these momos, these dumplings for her? Can you guess? And put your answers in the chat. Great, Lisa. Lovely. Mixing together with your hands and adding, make sure it's cold water, please. Make sure it's cold water. Thank you, Masma. Do you like my pattern of my apron? Good, Kanana, for her mum, from her mum. Possibly, it's not the right answer. The other one, who made her momos? Actually, it wasn't her mum, but it was her, what? What do you think? So now I'm kneading the dough. Why am I doing this? You want to explain why? Why am I doing this? Simona, that's the wrong answer. Not her grandma. So not her mum, not her grandma, but who used to make? Sister-in-law? No. Kanana, grandma? No. Hanan has got the answer. Her father used to cook these dumplings for her. Her father used to cook these dumplings for her. So what other ways can we use? What other words can we use to describe father? What other words can we use to describe father? Great, Remy. We get the dough because we want it to be, we need the dough because we want it to be firm. Absolutely. Well done. You've got it right. Put in a bowl and cover to rest for around about, I would say 15 minutes, but maybe we don't have that time. Yes, Veronica. It pulls apart the gluten in the dough and manages to make it more supple and flexible. Well done, Massima. You've got it right. So next thing here, we have our beef mince. Now, if you don't eat beef, that's no problem. You can please substitute for lamb. It's absolutely fine. And to the beef, I'm going to put my beef mince in my bowl. And I'm also going to add 2 red onions, finely chopped. 2 red onions, finely chopped. I'm also going to add 3 spring onions. 3 spring onions, finely chopped. So you were right. Onions do go well, really well actually, with our beef. If you are veggie as well, you can use corn mince. That's absolutely fine. The other things I'm going to do is I'm going to get my garlic, 2 cloves of garlic. 2 cloves of garlic here. Keep the skin on, crush it a bit, and you want to mince it. So have minced garlic, 2 cloves. Are you following so far? So I've got my crunchy spring onions. Can you see, just to give that really nice crunchy texture? And then I have my garlic here. I'm going to add a special ingredient, and this is Sichuan peppercorns. So you can get these types of peppercorns in maybe a Chinese shop or an Asian shop, and they are very bitter and sharp. So I would use that to describe the flavor of them. Very interesting. So half a teaspoon of that into my mortar and pestle. Grinds together. Oh, that smell. It's very citrusy almost, very zesty. Whew. That's great. And that's going to add a really, really strong flavor to the mixture. After that, I'm going to get my ginger. And what am I going to do with my ginger here? You can write in the chat or say out loud at home. Or you can just watch me cook, it's no problem. So with this one, I'm just going to... Great. I've got a good question from Carolina. Have I made these dumplings before? Actually, no. Not until yesterday. And I was very nervous, actually. I was worried because Tering, this is a very important recipe to her. She has strong memories of her dad making her these momos. And I was worried that they would taste not good and I would be maybe feel embarrassed. But when I put them and I tasted them after I'd cooked them, oh my gosh, I was in heaven. It was so nice. So I was really happy, and the sauce is amazing. So I'm really, really happy with that. After this, we need a very important ingredient here. 2 more things. All-purpose seasoning. This you can get from any shop. Any shop. If the shop doesn't have it, it's not a shop. Every single shop has this all-purpose seasoning. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon in. Very heaped tablespoon because I like a lot of flavor. And finally, 50 mils of soy sauce. So make sure that you're pouring in 50 mils of soy sauce. Fantastic. What does soy sauce taste like? What do you think? I'm going to do what Sadiqa does. And again, mix by hand. What do you think it feels like? Can you put some textures in the chat, or you can say some at home? What does it feel like? What do you think? So when Taryn was telling me about this story, it was so funny. She said that her dad made the momos for her, but she used to hide the momos in her pocket because she didn't want to eat them. So when her dad was making the momos, she would put them in her pocket secretly because she didn't want to tell him that she didn't actually like them when she was younger. What do you think happened next? Do you think he found out? Write in the chat, what do you think happened next with this story? Good, Massimo, sticky. It is very sticky. Brilliant. Whilst you're thinking about what happened to Taryn, I'm going to make some space for the final part of our dish, which is the rolling part. Oh dear, almost got me there. The rolling part of our dumplings. So you're going to need the dough. It's quite firm still, and you'll notice that I haven't put any flour down. Still very firm, okay? Good guess, Carolina. Did she eat it later? Possibly. Possibly. Want to make around about little balls with your hand. You pinch off here. Kanana, you think her dad knew? Anas, why do you not try to do any Arabic recipe? Well, Anas, we've done many Arabic recipes. If you go to our YouTube channel and look back, we've done maybe 4. So have a look back at our previous lessons, and then you will see all of the delicious recipes from our Arabic students. Ah, Paramita, it's not funny, but it's cute. She thought she didn't make him feel bad, that she doesn't like the dumplings. Good. Pablo, I have a ghost behind me. Yes, is jumping out at me. That's the problem. What do we think happened to Taryn? I'll give you a clue. Her dad did find out, but what happened? What happened? How did her dad find out? So, rolling out. Make sure you flatten it first with your palm. Like this. And keep flattening it all the way. Keep them nice and moist. No guesses yet. I'm very surprised. Maybe at home you're shouting at the screen if you can't comment and you're thinking, I know the answer. So make sure you roll out the dumplings really, really, really thin. So make sure you're rolling really, really thin so that you do not have the edges too thick. Okay, why do you think that is? Ah, Veronica, that's an interesting one. The dumplings leaked into her pocket. Good use of vocabulary from last week. I like it. Oh, can we guess? So, taking a little bit of our filling, our succulent beef filling. This texture is very, very succulent and nice. We're going to take the edges and just holding, this is the tricky part, just holding the one edge and slowly pleating it. Keep going, keep going, keep going, and twist, leaving a hole. Done. What do you think? Do you think it looks beautiful? Let me know. If you can't guess the answer to the story, have a look at my apron. It might give you a clue about what happened next. One down. These are absolutely brilliant stories coming in from the chat. I've got one from Lisa. Maybe she was out dumpling her in her pocket in the kitchen bin because she didn't like making her father feel sad. Good. Well done, Paramita. Paramita's given us a recap of all of the ingredients so far. And well done, Kanana. That is why we keep everything thin, because when we fold, we don't want the top to be too chewy. Chewy is another good way to describe food. It can be quite negative sometimes, but in this case, not too chewy, but a little bit chewy. So just make sure. So Remy, I've got a question from Remy. I put in 500 grams of beef mince. And make sure you pleat. Just keep that finger in the same place there and you will be able to do it. And the good thing is that dough is very flexible so that you can actually just mold it into how you want it. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to put my pan on. There we go. Does anybody know? Oh, I will tell you. So Tering was hiding the momos in her pocket and her dog was grabbed the pocket and was falling out. So she was feeding it to her dog. And then maybe her dad saw. So she had this confession. She had to confess what happened in the end. She had to tell her dad. She had to confess, oh, I'm sorry, Dad. I don't really like momos. What do you think about the story? Do you think, have you had similar? Actually, that's a good question for you. Have you had any food confessions? Is there anything that you've done like that before? Maybe you've hidden something from somebody. Put your answers in the chat, or you can write it down, and maybe you can put in the comments after the video has finished. What's your food confession? Have you done anything bad with food that you shouldn't have? Carolina, you've asked if chewy is a texture. Yes, it is. So chewy food like chewing gum, or sometimes dough if it's not cooked properly, or if it's too thick, it can be very chewy. Yeah, good question. Does anybody else have any questions they'd like to ask? Not just about the food, you can ask me anything about the recipe, about English. This is your chance to ask me anything, or you can ask the teachers a question. Or you can even just think about your food confessions. So as I'm going, I'm putting them into my, what's this called? What's this called? And I've already pre-made some earlier so that we can have a full basket. And I'm just going to pop my dumplings in the middle there. Fantastic. So make sure that this is oiled first underneath, and then you have your momos on top. I'm having some great food confessions in the chat from our teachers. Laura, I am so surprised at yours, but I also do the same. Laura said that she once ate an entire jar of Nutella to herself in one day. Did you use a spoon, Laura? Just a spoon in a jar? Simona used to eat raw dough, raw, uncooked dough from the bowl, even though your mum forbid you. That's a brilliant one. Thank you. Asmahan, the meaning of confession is a secret that someone found out that you did. So then you have to confess. So our teachers are telling us of things that they have done that were actually quite bad, but now they are telling us their secrets. So they are confessing. What's your confession, Asmahan? Carolina, you're asking if you don't have basket like this, that's absolutely fine. You can use a steamer. So any kind of vegetable steamer. So if you have like a plastic one like this, that's absolutely fine. And well done, Massima. You've got a steamer, wooden steamer. This is the answer to the question. So this is one wooden steamer. You can use a plastic steamer. You can use metal steamer. Completely up to you. Yes, more specifically, it's a bamboo steamer. Well done. So I've got my pot boiling. You want high heat here for the momos because they need to steam for quite some time. So I'm going to cover them with my steamer. You can get these from any shop, quite cheap, but if you have just a normal steamer at home, it's fine. Or sometimes people use just a colander. You can just use a colander and oil the colander and put the momos in there. Should be fine. Yeah, Lisa, yeah, she gave all the dumplings to her dog. Hence my, can you see my 3 dogs here? I thought you might get the clue. Carolina, brilliant. You used to steal sweets from your little brother. How awful. Poor brother. Any other confessions in the chat? Please do put them in there. So you're going to steam these for around about 15 to 20 minutes. To make sure they are nice and cooked on the top. And whilst we're waiting for that, I'm going to make a really delicious sauce to go with it. Let's bring back my chopping board. And to this sauce, just like the beginning, some of you were absolutely correct about this sauce. I'm going to need 2 tomatoes. I want some roughly chopped red onions. Going to go back to my garlic. 3 cloves of garlic. Ginger and Sichuan peppercorns and all-purpose. So more or less the same ingredients as we put in the momos. To the pan, we have a frying pan here. And with the mortar and pestle, garlic cloves in there. Again, what am I doing? I'm trying to think of my confessions now as well. I think when I was younger, it was about stealing. Yeah, I used to steal food from the cupboard. And I used to eat at nighttime because I used to get so hungry all the time. So I would steal food from the cupboard when my mum wasn't looking, because I used to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, then breakfast 2, lunch 2, then dinner 2. I would have about 6 meals. I was a very hungry child. So my mum once caught me one night and I was very, very embarrassed. So half a teaspoon of peppercorns, again, mince them up. And to this, you want to add some oil. To the pan. And we're going to put it on a kind of maybe medium heat. So about 2 tablespoons of oils. And you're going to add the garlic, the Sichuan peppercorns, but also some ginger. I hope you're writing all these ingredients down. So, roughly chop the ginger. So roughly chop this ginger. And you want to add what's the word to describe that sound again? Wow. I think that's a really amazing smell. Garlic with Sichuan peppercorns and ginger. Now, don't worry about the ginger being too big, because we are going to blend the sauce later. So you just want to release the flavors. Paramita, you've asked me if I still do. Oh, I'm embarrassed to say that I sometimes do have a sneaky snack. I do have a sneaky snack when no one is watching. I just love food, Paramita. Do you guys like food? Add chopped onions, and you can hear that sizzle. Ah, Aisha, when you were a child, when I was a child, I ate pistachios without seeing my brother, without telling your brother maybe. Oh, how funny. Thank you for that. That's really good. But pistachios are very healthy. Good. Sizzling. Sizzling. Nice. You can hear that nice and sizzling. And then the last part of it is you want to add perhaps 2 tomatoes, again, roughly chopped. That's why I like this recipe. Very easy to make. There we are. And hello, Farhat, welcome. And you are adding the tomatoes to the pan, making that delicious sauce to go with our beautiful dumplings. And now, actually, Tering really misses her dad's dumplings. She really, really loves them now. And last time I spoke to Tering, her and her husband together make a food business to sell these dumplings. So I'm really, really excited about her future and what she has planned. I think everyone will love these. So you're just waiting for that to cook away, and maybe add just half a tablespoon of the all-purpose seasoning, just to give it that bit of flavor. I'm going to have a wonderful dinner tonight. I'm not going to hide these in my pockets. I'm going to be eating these. It's a very delicious, delicious dish. Does anyone have any questions? Paramita is reassuring me that everyone has this situation. I'm glad. I'm glad. I think it's funny that we have food confessions, isn't it? As if food can be sometimes embarrassing or a secret. It doesn't matter. We only steal food from each other's families because we like it. So if it's stealing food from our brothers or our sisters. Of course, I want to season. Some salt here. Put as much or as little as you like. And getting that nice and ready. I'm going to look, if you see my momos are steaming, I'm just going to lift the lid off a little bit. Wow, looking good. Looking very good. Yes, Farhat, we are making something really amazing today. So, whilst my sauce is finishing off, can we take you back to those two questions that I asked you at the beginning of class? Not the very first ones, but the ones after when we started the recipe. That was, what ingredients did I use? More difficult this time. And what textures did I say? What textures did I say? So try to expand your vocabulary with adjectives. I'm just going to take this one off the heat, leave it to cool. I'll just give you a moment. If you're writing it down, just make a list. Or if you're writing in the chat, that's absolutely fine. And we've got some good questions here whilst I'm waiting. Pablo, that's a really good comment. So Asian foods are like Brazilian foods. They use a lot of onion, garlic, tomatoes. Yeah, very similar kinds of flavors there. Massima, you've asked if we can fry the dumplings. Of course you can. Bits of oil in a frying pan. Fry the bottom. You can turn over and fry the top, or fry the bottom, pour water and cover quickly and shake. Be very careful. The oil will be hot with the water, but you can fry on the bottom and steam on the top there. Pablo, you've asked, is bamboo as a spice? It's not a spice, it's a material. So this is wood, like it's a kind of wood from a tree. You can pot it. It's usually used in many different types of building material or food material, but this is bamboo or wooden steamer, okay? Carolina, you asked when these were ready. Well, these are ready when the top is kind of brown a little bit and the steam comes out. So usually I give it more time, 15, 20 minutes, and then check. Maybe stick a knife in the middle and feel if it's cold. Okay, Veronica, I love that you write so quickly. Plain flour, salt, water, good. The dough, the filling, red onions, spring onions, cloves of garlic, citron peppercorns, and ginger. Interesting. Paramita, you've asked if I mix this in the blender. Yes, I do. This will all go in the blender very shortly. Can I take you to the board whilst we're waiting for the dumplings to cook? And you've kind of got the ingredients. Make sure that my ghost doesn't fall on me again, doesn't jump on me. Have a look here. Have a look here. What are these ingredients? Number one. What is it? The letters are scrambled up. Can you find out what these are? Number one, number two, number three, number four, number five, and number six. You have 2 minutes. Write down in the chat or at home, or you can speak out loud. If you're writing in the chat, make sure you write the number so our teachers can mark it for you. Whilst you're doing that, I'm going to be blending my sauce. Some really good questions today, guys, and lots of great stories. I'm so happy to hear all of your comments and all of your ideas. It's so great to have you here with me whilst I'm cooking these delicious dishes. What can we see with this one? Can you see? This is a very hard one. These are all ingredients from the session, but I have made it very difficult for you. Let's zoom in again so we can see if you can guess. And I'm going to blend my sauce. I love how there's silence in the chat now. Everyone is very confused. If you're at home and you've got the answers, well done. Make it easy for you. Good, Sadiqa. You've got the first one there. That's beef mince. Number 3. So let's have a look. See if we can do it. So you zoom in again. Beef. Mince. Beef mince. Sadiqa, you get 1 point. Massimo, you are really good. Pablo, 5 is garlic. Well done. G A R L I. Say it with me. C. garlic. Yay. And we have on the top, Massimo, you got that one really well. Let's have a look there. Soya sauce there. Well done. S-O-Y, soy. You can add A, but you can leave it without. S-A-U-C and E. Soy sauce. What's number 2? I did forget the ginger, Pablo. Well done. You're trying to test me now, aren't you? Well done, Sadiqa. Red onion, fantastic. Anastasia, spring onion. You've got it. You've got it, guys. Well done. S-P-R-I. Oh dear. That's why it was so hard, because there was no G. Sorry. O-N-I-O-N and S. Spring onions, beef mince, soy sauce, red onions. There we go. That's our plural there. And last one. What is that one? Does anyone have any idea? Maybe you can guess whilst I blend my sauce. Remy has the right answer. Well done, Remy. All-purpose seasoning. Let me write it up here. All-purpose seasoning. Wow. That was really hard, wasn't it? Even hard for our teachers as well, and for me too. So well done, everybody. Absolutely brilliant. Well done if you also got the quantities as well. So textures here, just going to go through them. You will be covering a few more textures, hopefully in your Zoom class tomorrow. Spring onion was crunchy. Crunchy. Carrots are crunchy. Cereal is crunchy. All of those things are crunchy. Beef mince is succulent. Succulent. I use this word when I want to describe something that's juicy. Succulent. Momos. I'm going to use this to describe it. It is hearty. Hearty. A nice full meal. That's great and hearty. And dough is firm. Is firm. Okay, the dough is firm. Oh, what a fun lesson today. I feel like I've really pushed you a lot. How do you feel now? Do you feel okay? Give me one word to describe how you're feeling now whilst I plate up. So, my sauce is ready. Always taste your sauce, really important. I'm just going to grab just a little teaspoon. Have a little taste. Brilliant. Brilliant. I would probably fry the onions a little bit more, but other than that, it tastes very juicy, salty, a little bit spicy actually. So that's fantastic. Into the bowl here, and just put it on the side of your momos. And always serve with a little spoon here. And then we have our wonderful, wonderful steamed momos. Let's lift up and see. Wow, fantastic. Doesn't that look amazing? So these have now been steaming for around about 15 minutes. They look juicy. They look full of flavor. You have to wait around about 5 minutes to before they're ready to eat. But if you can't wait, obviously you can eat them. Let me see if I can get some off for you. So they should come off carefully if you've oiled it properly. Wow. Who is going to try these at home? Yeah, Sadiqa, you want to try some? Who wants me to send some in the post? Who's got their address? Actually, don't put your address down. That's not good. I can send it into your postcode. Email me your address. I can email you some dumplings. So if I cut it open for you, you can see here that really juicy, lovely, moist filling. Little bit of spicy tomato on the side. And of course, you can try it. Or it might be too hot for me to try now because I think it's just going to be too hot. Whew. But I can't wait. I have to eat. It tastes absolutely delicious. Really, really, I highly recommend it. Again, you can use different types of meat, beef mince, lamb mince. Just make sure that you add the soy sauce to give it that juice. Or you can use Khadija gluten-free soy sauce. It's fine. If you're vegetarian, you can use soya mince. That's absolutely fine. Or even mushrooms. I hope you've enjoyed today's class. I really have enjoyed chatting with you. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to our videos. And we've only got a couple left. So this was the last recipe from our cookbook, but we will have some special guests next week to be cooking with me, next to me on Zoom. So I'm looking forward to showing you that next week. Tomorrow you have your Zoom class from 6 p.m. until 7 p.m. with all of our lovely qualified English teachers who will be there to help you and to take you through all of the work today, plus some more listening and speaking conversations. Please, please, please go along. There aren't many lessons left, only 3 lessons left. And make sure if you want to, you can apply for our new project, the Open Kitchens project. Hanan will put another link into the WhatsApp group, and also I will email you. I really hope you can apply. It will be a very, very special opportunity for those who want to practice their cooking. Thank you so, so, so much. Really, really lovely to see you. And very, very good to chat with you and cook with you. See you next week. Bye-bye. Bye. See you.